Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, and members of the Secretariat. The Arab Republic of Egypt addressed the Assembly today at the defining moment for international peace, maritime security, and global economic stability. The Strait of Hormuz is not merely a narrow body of water between two shorelines. It is the vital artery of global energy trade. Day after day, over 20% of the world's petroleum liquids pass through this strategic corridor. Today, this fundamental waterway faces unprecedented strain for rising geopolitical tensions, military escalations, and direct threats to commercial navigations. The delegation of Egypt stands firm. The freedom of navigation in international waterways is non-negotiable. It is guaranteed by international law, and its violations threatens to pull the global economy into severe instability. Delegates, as a nation strategically situated at the crossroads of Africa and Asia, host to the Suez Canal, and guardian of vital maritime routes connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Egypt understands the catastrophic cause of maritime disruptions. Maritime security in the Middle East is interconnected. A crisis in the Strait of Hormuz does not stay contained in the Gulf. It sends immediate shockwaves through the Bab el-Mandeb, impacts traffic through the Suez Canal, inflates shipping and insurance costs worldwide, and directly threatens global food and energy security. For Egypt, Arab national security is indivisible. The security of sovereignty of our sisterly states in the Gulf Cooperation Council, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman, are an integral part of Egypt's own national security. Any attack targeting commercial shipping, civilian vessels, or energy infrastructure in this sovereign nation is an attack against regional stability that Egypt unequivocally rejects. Fellow delegates, no state, regardless of its geographic positions or military capacity, has the right to weaponize international straits or hold global commerce hostage. The 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, clearly dictates the legal status of international straits. All ships, whether commercial tankers or cargo vessels, enjoy the right of transit passage for the sole purpose of continuous and expeditious transit. Unilateral blockades, hostile interdictions, and attacks on civilian maritime infrastructure violate the core principle of international law. They penalize developing nations who suffer most from surging commodity prices and risk dragging our region into a wider, catastrophic military conflict. To safeguard the Strait of Hormuz and restore order to international maritime routes, the delegation of Egypt proposes three concerted measures for this committee's consideration. First, establishing a UN-backed maritime observations mechanism. We call UPAN the United Nations Security Council to implement natural UN-authorized maritime monitoring along critical checkpoints. This mechanism will monitor compliance with UNCLOS, provide transparent reporting on incidents, and prevent accidental military escalation between armed forces in the area. Second, enforcing binding commitments against interference. We urge all regional actors bordering international waterways to formally commit to non-aggressions against commercial shipping. Energy infrastructure and civilian transit must be completely insulated from geopolitical disputes. Third, creating an inclusive regional dialogue on maritime security. Permanent military presence alone cannot solve security crises. Egypt advocates for an inclusive, UN-facilitated diplomatic forum bringing together all littoral states of the Gulf and Red Sea to establish open communication channels and crisis management hotlines. Distinguished Chair and fellow delegates, the world cannot afford a closed Strait of Hormuz. It cannot afford hyperinflation, energy starvation, or an unchecked regional war. Egypt has always chosen the path of diplomacy, stability, and international law. We stand alongside our partners in the Arab world, and we call upon the international community to act with wisdom and decisive leadership. Let us ensure that our international straits remain corridors of peace, trade, and global connectivity rather than flashpoints of divisions and conflict. Thank you, Mr. President. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's primary oil transit choke point, facilitating the passage of over 20% of global petroleum liquids and significant volume of liquefied natural gas. Recent militarizations, asymmetric attacks on commercial vessels, and threats of closing this narrow waterway pose an immediate threat to global economic stability and regional peace. For the Arab Republic of Egypt, the maritime security is a matter of strategic survival. The economic health of Egypt, heavily tied to the transit of global trade through the Suez Canal, is intrinsically linked to the stability of neighboring maritime choke points, including Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The Arab Republic of Egypt maintains a firm stance regarding maritime security. 1. Adherence to international law. 2. Support for Gulf sovereignty. And 3. Proactive diplomacy. Proposed solutions: UN-backed maritime peacekeeping and de-escalation mechanism. 2. Binding regional non-aggression agreement. 3. Inclusive regional security dialogue. That's all from me. Let us ensure that our international straits remain corridors of peace, trade, and global connectivity rather than flashpoints of division and conflict. Thank you, Mr. President.